2012 Volkswagen Sharan 2-liter TDI engine. Engine doesn't really matter in this case. Today we're going to replace a ball joint in suspension, which is lower arm ball joint. First thing first we need to jack up the car. So I've jacked it up with a jack, but don't rely on jack on its own. Put it on stand. As you can see, we have a stand there. Not only jack, stand is holding bushing. I'll show you from this side. So this is secure way of raising the vehicle. So we have space under the wheel, and let's remove the wheel. If it's stuck, give it a little kick. There we go. What I've done here, I've turned the steering wheel all the way to the right. So we're gonna deal with this out of this side, because we have a caliper here and all this busy business. And I'm gonna get involved with that. So our ball joint is this bad boy here, the rusty one. So it has developed some play and it failed MOT. It's held on 3 nuts from the bottom, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, and it has its own studs. Unlike some other cars, VW made it clever, and we have separate ball joints. In some cars you have to replace the whole arm to replace ball joint. In our case it's just 3 studs. Then there is 1 nut here at the top. There we go. In order to remove that nut, we're gonna remove drive shaft out of the hub. So, and drive shaft is held on this side by this big bolt. We're gonna come to that later. And then to make a bit more movements, we're gonna remove the steering rod as well. This is our steering. It has its own ball joint and 18mm nut here. So first we're gonna lubricate everything with the WD-40, all nuts. We're not gonna do anything to this one because it's hard to get anything there. One looks like it's running out of WD-40. And the big nut here. You can give it some time to let it soak in, and let's carry on. Let's start with the steering rod first. 18mm socket, and let's undo this. It was pretty easy. There we go, nut is off. However, despite the fact that nut is off, it will be stuck here properly, as all ball joints do, because it's like a cone-shaped metal to metal, and it's gonna get stuck with the flow of time, with the pressure, maybe a bit of rust as well. So if you don't want to damage it, don't hit it on a thread, don't hit any ball joints, just hit this metal bit, just give it a good shake, and it will get loose. Just take a hammer and just give a few good taps. there you go. Now it's all good, all loose. We'll just put it aside so it stays out of the way. Next thing I'm going to do is remove these 3 nuts at the bottom. I'm gonna use power tool. You don't have to. It's 16mm socket, just to make the process faster. We remove these 3 nuts. Now let's undo that big ball that holds drive shaft, and then we'll get back to our ball joint. Now let's talk about this bolt in the middle. So for that you will need a special socket. If you have original bolt, which is 24mm triple square, it's like 12-sided socket. Sometimes if it's a cheaper bolt, it can be hexagon, and that will be probably 27mm hexagon. Nevertheless, we have original good bolt, which is 24mm. Get ready for this. So if you don't have this socket, I'll put a link in the description where you can buy this tool or any other tools. So there are 3 ways to undo this bolt, because it's very tight. If you have another person helping you, just ask them to get inside the car and hold the brakes. Not here, obviously, with the pressing pedal. Another way, if you're doing it on your own, you can keep the wheel on, so get it loose before you start anything. So in the middle of your wheel you have a plastic cup here, and you can remove this plastic cup. You get access to this bolt, and while the car is on the ground with the handbrake on, you can just crack it loose. But which is important, don't take it out. Just make it loose and don't take it out, because if you put the pressure without the bolt, it can damage the bearing. So just make it loose. What I'm gonna do, because I have a magic power of the power gun, I'm gonna simply undo it. Because we have steering off, we can turn this one whichever way we like. So I'm gonna use my power gun, which is handy to have. And then we take it out. Now we take some socket, 18mm will do. We could put it in and give it a few taps to push drive shaft a little bit out of the hub. Just a little bit. Now with the no nuts here holding ball joint to suspension arm, what we can do, we can push suspension arm down. You can press it with your fingers like that and take it off. And we're gonna finish off by tapping the drive shaft, so we can remove drive shaft as well. So now it's all nice and loose here, so we can get to this bad boy. Let's come from another side now again. Now with this nut exposed, top of the ball joint, what we can do, we can simply undo it. I'm pretty sure I should be able to do it with the spanner, at least start it. Maybe not. Let's try the socket on a longer extension. What I should have done, and I recommend it to you, is while everything was fixed, use the spanner with more force, but because now it's all loose, it's hard to hold it. But I'll put it on my website. By the way, everything I do, there is description of it on my website, wheelsandmotors.com, link in description. So step-by-step instructions, mobile friendly. It's also available in printer friendly PDF format, so you don't have to watch the video next time you go to the garage. You just download or you look at the instructions on my website. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put this steering back on, put this nut back on to make it hand tight, because this nut appeared to be stronger than I expected. So what we're gonna do now is just put some longer, we'll take a breaker bar and the socket, put it on the top, and then give it another point of hold. I've also inserted this stud here just to fix it in position so we can, so it doesn't move about. And now we can move, apply breaker bar, and finally undo this nut. There we go. Now we remove all these stuff again. And this one as well. You can move it towards yourself and just wiggle it about. So it goes away. Now we have left only with one nut. And we are going to remove it. I've got a ring spanner with a ratchet. Once it gets moving, you can even finish it by hand. Right, we finished it by hand. However, this thing is gonna be stuck. And there are a few ways of removing it. As we know from this ball joint experience, it's gonna be stuck. Now we came to the point when lots of people get stuck and get panicking because this is stuck properly. If you hit it here, it's not necessarily gonna make it loose. It's all cramped here. So there are a few ways to remove ball joint now. That's either fork, big, make sure it's a big wide opening. So this one is 25 mil here, so it's gonna fit in here, and then you hit the hammer onto the this end, and then bang, 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 and it comes out. It may damage rubber bit if you're gonna reuse the ball joint, if you're removing ball joint for some other reasons. Maybe not, maybe yes. So I definitely use fork on some other cars, like say Ford Galaxy. You can remove this top nut without detaching the drive shaft, so sometimes to save time, lots of garages, lots of people use this fork. Make sure you don't go for the little one. There are some little ones sold. This one I don't know how much, but it's not very big one, and it's not gonna fit where you want it to fit. Another point, what we can do, if you've got it like I have here, everything freed up properly, so you can fit this tool. It's like a fork with a finger on the top, so you fit it on, and then you turn this 19mm bolt, and it's gonna pop it out. Make sure also you go for the big enough one. This model is a Clark. Oh, I wish they pay me for this. Now, nevertheless, I want to help you. So this is a Clark model. Let me focus. That's the model. Hang on. There you go. Model number CHT222. If you look for that, Clark. I'm gonna leave a link in the description anyway. So you can buy one of these, but also with these you have to free up the space so they can fit. Otherwise, they're not gonna fit everywhere. So I'm gonna try to use this. If not, we're gonna use a fork. As I said, most of the time I use fork. Fork is brutal, quick and easy option. You put it in there, bang, 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 it comes out. I'm gonna try to use this one. See that I had reason to buy it. It says wear safety glasses, maybe just in case if something goes wrong. Oh, it gets tight. Hopefully it holds it. See how tight it sits there. I'm gonna, there you go. There you go. This is our ball joint. It's all pretty bad. It's all cracked, worn out, and we're gonna replace it with a new one. Now we take our new ball joint. This is a good brand, by the way. Not advertising it, but what I'm trying to say is go for the don't go for the cheapest option. Cheapest option don't last. The only reason why people go for the cheapest one, maybe I would think so, they want to pass MOT and just sell it, and I don't know, maybe they just really short of money, they want to last it for a little bit. Don't go for the very cheap one. This is pretty good. Lemfurder, original VW brand, TRW is good. There are a few other brands, I can't remember them now, but just make a research, and don't go for the cheapest one. They don't last. What we do, by the way, if it's a good brand, it comes with all new nuts, which is good. And what we do, we take it out and we compare. It's the same. Also, worth notice, on this Volkswagen Sharan, left and right ball joints are different. So left one will say L, which is for the left. So make sure you buy the correct one. Left and right are different. And this is, by the way, is anti-roll bar link on for rear suspension. That's going to be my next video, so I'll see you there as well if you need to do it. So let's put this on. I'm gonna put it all back together now, but wait, don't go anywhere yet. I'm gonna show you how to put everything back together because it's pretty much in reverse sequence. All I wanted to show, sometimes we pop it off, sometimes it can be unscrewed. All ball joints. The ball joint, you okay there? Okay. The ball joint that we're replacing, it may start turning together with the nut, so you won't be in order to tighten it properly. This one has a Torx counter hold in the middle, so use a T30 Torx. Like our old ball joint had an Allen, this one has Allen as well. So all ball joints, when you tighten them, make sure you counter hold them so you can tie them properly. And one more thing where people can be struggling as well, when you're putting drive shaft back in, as you put it in the middle, sometimes it doesn't want to go in because splines they don't line up properly. So what you do, you find the hub when it goes in, and then you turn brake disc up and down, and then keep pushing it, and then eventually you get it in. That's it, my friends of internet. If you watched it all the way to this end, that's either one, you have patience of a saint, or maybe you never done it before and you really want to know every little bit of it. But anyway, it was my pleasure to help you. So all links in description, so a link to my website, step-by-step instructions, and then all these tools and everything, and see my website, wheelsandmotors.com. Thank you for watching.